there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
Just got an incident come through of a dog in the Midlands area. Are you able to accept over?
Are you friendly?
Yeah, you just want a bit of loving, don't you?
It could be a scold from boiling water.
Horrible.
Oh, sausage.
Right now, there are dogs that need help.
We don't get many toy Yorkies stuck in TV cabinets now.
And there are heroes who are dedicated to saving them.
I don't want to leave any animal in there.
Why would you allow those dogs to look like that?
Transforming their lives.
It sounds like she's in a lot of distress.
The nurse in me wanted to make him better.
She just can't believe how lucky she is.
Finding them forever homes.
I feel like a lucky boy.
She deserves it after what she's been through.
I think he's my guardian angel. Aren't you, mate?
And giving our four-legged best friends a second chance makes it all worthwhile.
Him giving them that little ray of hope.
They are the dog rescuers.
Without a shadow of a doubt, this is why I do this job.
Hello and welcome to the Dog Rescuers. We often see dogs that are in desperate need of help, but sometimes their owners need support too, as you'll see in today's programme. And I'm looking after lovely Raven here, who was sadly abandoned and underweight when he was rescued. This lot are nothing to do with it. Clear off, it's the Dog Rescuers. Coming up, horribly thin Jess needs Inspector Anthony Pulfer's help.
Emaciated with no food, no water, not even a bed. It's not right. It's not right what's going on in there. It's not how a dog should look.
What are you doing up there?
A very messy house poses a safety hazard to Roxy and Rocky.
Because that's hot, isn't it? Yeah. There are lots of things in here that can get them hurt, so we need to do something about that, all right?
And Angelica Bell finds out what it's like for dogs on the street.
That dog is their companion, and it's there for them every single day. And they deserve to be looked after.
Hello, RSPCA Control Centre. Can I take your name, please?
And when you say thin, how concerned are you? What can you see with this dog?
In South East London, Inspector Anthony Pulfer is responding to a call.
We're looking at trying to see a dog at this address, stated as being emaciated. Very underweight dog, very thin, and can see all its ribs, hips and spine, which is very worrying.
If Anthony wasn't worried enough, he's suddenly hit by a sense of déjà vu.
I think I do remember this address. I remember going to a job about a dog that was a bit thin, a little bit not being cared for, but main concern was that it wasn't being given water. It's going to be quite interesting if that's the same address. I think it is. It is.
A year earlier, Anthony had visited the property to investigate a complaint about a staffy that wasn't being properly cared for, but the owner had followed his advice and done everything he'd asked, so he'd had no reason to return.
It can be frustrating when you've dealt with someone previously and they come back on the radar for the same sort of thing. And you almost feel an element of failure yourself because you've advised that person to change their ways and you hoped for the best that day. Hi there. Been a while since we've met. Remember we met last time, didn't we?
Anthony is taken into the kitchen where an obviously underweight dog is locked in a dog crate with no access to bedding, food or water.
It's a different dog now. OK. You never get used to seeing a dog that's emaciated. It hits you like a rock in the face. You know you've got to do something. Who have you got now?
The owners say they've given away their previous dog and have been trying to get their current dog, Jess, to put on weight since they got her 4 months ago. But Anthony isn't convinced.
She's too underweight. She shouldn't be in that condition.
Anthony is so worried about Jess that he wants to take her straight to the vets to be checked over, but the owners are not happy.
Just so I'm clear today, are you not letting me take the dog to the vets?
And become extremely verbally aggressive.
It's not always easy to stay calm when someone's spitting, shouting in your face. But my job there is to protect dogs. I'm not happy to leave her here. At the moment I lose my rag, or I get aggressive, it's not happening. So staying calm, talking to someone, as if I'd like to be spoken to myself, works sometimes to get a dog out of a situation in the best and quickest way. Right, this is where I'm at. I need to take a dog to the vet for an opinion of its condition. If you don't allow me to do that, I'll just have to get a police officer to come and take the dog off you. It's two choices.
Eventually, the owners agree to let Anthony take Jess to the vets.
As soon as I saw her in that condition, curled up, emaciated, with no food, no water, not even a bed, it made my mind up that she was coming away. You're all right, darling. Come on. That was quite tough. It's not right. It's not right what's going on in there. That's not how a dog should look. This dog needs to see a vet. And I'm concerned this dog is thin for the one and only reason of not getting food and water.
If Anthony's suspicions prove correct, poor Jess could be in danger of organ failure and even death. Anthony needs to get her to the vet urgently. Inspector Anthony Pulfer has just rescued a very sweet but terribly skinny Staffordshire Bull Terrier cross called Jess.
All right, Jess. All right, sweetheart.
He suspects Jess has been starved, so he's rushed her over to see vet Kate Arrowsmith.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Anthony.
Thank you for seeing me today.
No problem.
It's a dog called Jess, female dog. Haven't got an age at the moment. The owner allowed me to take the dog from the address for a veterinary opinion on the dog's condition, really.
Well, that's pretty easy. Your condition's terrible.
OK.
She's way underweight. Let's have a look at you then, sweetheart. I mean, the main thing is she's just so painfully thin.
OK.
You can see the bones of her spine sticking out. You can see every single rib without even trying to feel them. The pin bones on her hips all poking out. Her waist is so tiny, I can get my hands around it.
OK.
I mean, that's just insane in a dog her size.
Mm-hmm.
But you are being very sweet.
As well as being underfed, it's likely that Jess has also been used for breeding in the past.
She certainly looks like she's had puppies at least once with the mammary development that's there now.
Okay.
But there's no obvious milk there at the moment.
A dog this size should be at least 25 kilos. So, to see just how underweight Jess is, Kate gets her on the scales.
OK, on we go.
Good girl. OK, sweetheart.
Never seen grass before.
Good girl. Yeah, stay there for a sec.
19.4, that's a long way short of 25.
OK. 19.4.
There's a percentage of body weight that she's lacking in. That's quite a considerable amount of weight. She had a body condition score of 2 out of 9, which is totally unacceptable.
Jess will be given blood tests to determine whether she has any underlying medical conditions, or if it's simply a lack of food causing her emaciation.
Let's go find your kennel, shall we?
She is taken to kennels, where Anthony can get her settled.
Good girl. Come on then. Sit. Good girl. There we are. Oh, that's good. It's good to see. You can tap that food a bit, I think. She's going to be hungry, always, until she's at the right weight almost, and to be content. Just got to stop her eating the bowl. She loved that food. As long as we can just continue to feed her the right amount at the right time, then she'll be back to full weight as soon as we know it.
We'll be back with Jess later. In Birmingham, Inspector Hershey Bowl is on her way to check the condition of a couple of staffy crosses.
I've had a call about a couple of dogs. One of them is supposed to be very thin, saying that you can see its ribs, and the other one, it has a problem with its fur, and that's the only information I have at the moment.
I'd say about 3/4 of the complaints that we receive aren't what they say they're going to be. And you never know what you're going to come across.
Hello? Hello? Hi, it's the inspector from the RSPCA. I've had a call about your dogs.
They're well fed, well looked after. The house is in a bit of a mess.
I can see that, sweetheart. Is it all right if I just have a quick chat with you? Because you're here now and I'm here, so it's easier if I just speak to you.
Will you take my dogs off?
I'm not going to do that, darling, okay? I can see them, and I've seen them through the letterbox.
Yeah.
But I do want to just speak to you about the flat, all right? Because obviously they're living in that as well, aren't they?
You just never know what reaction you standing there in uniform is going to have. The majority of what I do is about advice and giving out help to people. You know, there is this massive misconception that I'm gonna take your dogs off you, and that's so not true.
It'd be much easier if I can just step in and have a quick word. Yeah?
What we will always try and do is work with the owner. The absolute last resort is to take the dogs away.
Eventually, the owner, Kieran, agrees to let Hershey in.
So, Kieran, I'm the inspector that covers this area. My name's Hershey.
I've seen you on telly.
Have you?
I love watching the dog rescue.
Oh, do you?
Yes,
okay. Oh, sweetheart, it's nice to meet you.
Looks like fame does open doors.
Hello, darling. Hello. All right, darling?
Very quickly, Hershey can see that dogs Rocky and Roxy are both in good health.
The call was that he was thin. He's definitely not thin. He's fine. What's the matter?
Sometimes he does lose a bit of weight.
The way he is now, he's perfect. I can't fault him. In terms of the feeding, darling, they look absolutely fine.
But unfortunately, their living conditions pose a hazard.
But I think you need some help here drastically, do you not think? What do you think?
Yeah.
You're looking after the welfare of animals, and that's your job. However, you really have to think about the welfare of the people that you're dealing with as well.
Because, darling, you can't live in this, and nor can they.
And I'm not judging jury here, you know. My job isn't to demonise them for the way that they're living. That's their personal choice. But if it has an impact on dogs, then I will say something, and you know, it's important that I do.
The thing is, it's not just that it's not healthy for the dogs. It's not healthy for you. I mean, I can't see the floor at all in here. Do you know what I mean? It's terrible. What's she doing in there? Is she all right?
Yeah.
What's she up to? What are you up to, Roxy? What are you doing up there? What are you doing up there? I think the sooner we get all this cleared out, the better.
She's after my dinner.
She's after your dinner. OK, you need to be really careful with that, darling, because that's hot, isn't it? Yeah. So, is that where you cook?
Yeah.
Hershey is sympathetic to Kieran's plight, but as an inspector, her priority is Roxy and Rocky's safety.
The concern I have is that there's a lot of things that can get them into trouble in here. You know, like hazards, things that they're stepping on. Make a big change in here.
Get up there.
She's quite good at that, isn't she? She's quite good at the whole. She's quite good at the jumping. They clearly love you and you love them. But Kieran, they can't stay here if this stays like this. Do you understand that, darling? That's really important. If the property stays like this, the dogs won't be able to stay.
Hershey arranges to talk to Kieran's local council.
So Rory, is he your housing officer?
Yeah.
Perfect, OK.
To see what they can do to help.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make contact. So let me leave that with you.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah? You take care. I'll see you soon, Kieran. Yeah. All right, darling. Take care. Bye-bye.
In the meantime, Kieran will need to pull his sleeves up and get the bin bags out before Hershey's next visit.
I could see immediately as soon as I looked through the letterbox that the property was in a real state. It's actually a miracle that the dogs haven't got injured, really. My plan, really, is to speak to his housing officer and let them know that I've been there and that I'm happy with the dogs, but that we really need to sort something and get the ball rolling in sorting out the property.
Wow, that's a big job for Kieran. I hope he's got plenty of bin liners. Knowing Hershey, though, I'm sure she'll do what she can to help both him and his dogs. We'll be back with them later. But first, we're joining Angelica Bell.
There are estimated to be 5,000 rough sleepers in Britain. And living alongside them are a huge number of dogs. But what happens when their beloved pooch needs care that they can't provide?
I'm here in London, which has more homeless people than any other city in the country. Today, I'm joining a group of volunteers who provide care and advice for homeless people and their pets.
Across the country, Dogs on the Streets provide a wide range of services for homeless and disadvantaged dogs and their owners. Everything from food, training and grooming, to much-needed veterinary treatment.
It's scary, isn't it?
Essentials that most of us take for granted. Michelle Clark established Dogs on the Streets in 2016.
Michelle, I want you to tell me a bit about how you got involved with homelessness and dogs.
First came across a street dog near where I lived, and I dropped off a basket of essentials. The relationship and the bonds between a homeless person and their dog is something I can't describe. What we hear time and time again is how much the dog has rescued the owner. It gives the owner responsibility, it gives them a reason, which we hear many a time, for them to get up every day.
John has brought along his dog Diamond.
She's called Diamond, and you've had her how long?
8 years.
Wow.
It's so special, it means so much because I've lost a partner and I've lost a dog, and it's just me and her left. So it's like this one means so much to me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Lot, you know.
All right, sweetheart. Good girl. Oh, there we are.
Diamond has a problem with one of her legs.
All right, love. Good girl. Yeah, she's got quite a lot of thickening in that joint, which would tend to indicate that that's what our problem is. Yep.
It's one of my friends that comes to some of the homeless places, and he says, look, come bring her on a Sunday. And it was unfortunate because she had an accident 2 days ago.
Right, so her leg has only been like that 2 days?
2 days, yeah.
So what happened?
Just chasing a squirrel up a tree, and as she's spinning around the bottom, she's ran and went too fast, so she's twisted up the side. It's a cruciate ligament. There you go. Right.
Have you got her?
Diamond will need to be seen by physio Kim, but at the moment she's working on Tara.
What's happened with Tara is they think she's got some arthritis. So I'm doing physiotherapy to try and help her be as comfortable as possible.
So Jo, you're here with Tara.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about her.
She belongs to Robbie. He's a little shy and I'm his support worker, so I come to support him to fetch her here so she can receive the up-to-date treatment that we couldn't afford otherwise without the doc's support.
Jo, you often see, homeless people or people at disadvantage with animals and with dogs. And a lot of people, can't match that. They find it hard to accept
All of us need company and someone's love, and the dog provides that. That's never going to break their heart, never going to let them down. It's unconditional.
Good point. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
I would thoroughly agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Tara seems to be enjoying this. She's been, quite relaxed for a long time. Very chilled.
The physio seems to be working for Diamond too.
There we go. Does that feel better?
Is that better, man?
Does that feel nice? Yeah. Good job. I'm going to show you a couple of exercises, things you can practice with her to try and get her back on this leg again.
So having this sort of facility is such a relief.
Of course it is, of course it is. This is like godsend, isn't it?
The veterinary services here are vital. Many of these dogs would go untreated if it wasn't for Dogs on the Streets.
And hopefully she will be a lot more comfortable than she is now.
And their vets, like Louise, deal with all kinds of cases, from routine worming to orthopaedic problems. But there are some cases they can't fix. In these situations, they work with local practices and animal hospitals to ensure these precious dogs get the care they need, and the organisation covers the cost.
Right, and now we'll have a look at his leg, so I actually need him facing away from me, if that's okay.
Leo is one of these dogs. He needs surgery to remove a lump on his leg. Leo has lived on the streets for over a year with owner Michael.
Michael, do you mind me asking how old you are now?
I'm 28 years of age at the moment.
You're 28?
Yeah.
And how long have you been sleeping rough?
Sleeping rough on and off since 12 years old.
Since you were 12 years old?
Since I was 12 years old.
That's so young to be out on the street. What happened? Do you mind me asking?
Just had family difficulties at home, so I got up and left, and then turned to the street.
Why is Leo so important to you?
He's my companion. So I wake up first thing in the morning, feed my baby. It's literally on top of my head. He's like my child, my baby.
So no wonder you love coming and seeing Michelle and the guys.
Yeah. Dogs on the streets are very helpful because they give us like food, not just they just give us food. They give us love and care. They give us someone to talk to, give our comfort.
And if you didn't have it, you probably wouldn't have been able to...
I wouldn't be able to do as
look
much for
after
him.
him, yeah.
As much, definitely. And it's helped Leo out so much. Even Leo loves them. It's like his family.
It's lovely to meet you. Take care, Leo.
I've been a vet for many years. When you see the human-animal bond, you realise just how intense that relationship can be. And for the people out here who have absolutely nothing but their dog, that dog is their companion, and it's there for them every single day, and they deserve to be looked after. It's that simple.
Today's been such a humbling experience. For some of these homeless people, their dog is their only friend. It's all they've got left. So volunteers like these guys are absolutely vital.
Coming up.
Kieran, they can't stay here if this stays like this. Do you understand that, darling? That's really important.
Can Kieran clean up his act and keep his dogs?
Hello, girl. Who's this?
And there's a sad farewell for Cara, whose owner is struggling to take care of her.
I want to get clean anyway.
Get you
It's
some help.
killing me.
You need some help then. Urgently,
I do
don't
need
you?
help, yeah.
On Merseyside, Inspector Anthony Joins has been in contact with an owner who's struggling to cope with his dog, Cara.
He's inherited a German Shepherd from his late father, who's passed away, unfortunately. Their dog had managed to rip open some bags of illegal drugs. He has then become immediately concerned for the welfare of the dog.
Cara was taken to the vets and thankfully hadn't swallowed any of the drugs, but the terrifying incident made the owner realise he could no longer care for her.
He's been in tears this morning on the van. I was almost in tears, to be honest with you, because I know he's going to see this dog as the last part of his dad, really, what he's got left. So, I'm going to have to deal with it in a sensitive manner.
At the property, Anthony meets owner Stefan.
Hi, mate. Yeah. Thanks very much. Is she? And she's definitely all right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's sound. Yeah.
All right.
Hello, girl. Who's this? Hello. Darling.
She's a good kid.
Now,
Come
who's
here.
this? Who's this?
That's lovely, isn't she?
Yes, she is. She's well kept.
Cara.
I love her.
She's hypo, is she? I imagine she's not been getting as many walks as she should.
I can't walk. Dad used to take her to the field with the ball. She loves going out. She absolutely adores it. She loves it.
Is the garden secure? Shall we have a little run? You want to play? Let's go.
Who's this?
What is it? What is it?
Who's this?
What have you got? Let's have a look.
Oh, she's got it.
What have you got?
Go show Anthony.
You having a fuss? What is it? What have you got?
She's just sniffing you.
What have you got? Is it treats?
Sniffing you.
I've got a pouch at the back here. It's usually got treats in. And she's scratching the back of that.
See the way she knows, see the way she knew that.
She's intelligent, isn't she?
Yeah, she's very intelligent, yeah. Oh, look. Oh,
What I'll do is, Stefan, we'll get these forms filled out.
Okay.
I'm just concerned about you as well, mate, to be honest. If you're not looking after yourself properly, are you?
I can't look after myself.
And you know that you can't look after her.
I can't.
You're doing the right thing.
Cara waits outside while the boys handle the paperwork.
So we've got a German Shepherd.
Yeah, German Shepherd, Cara.
C-A-R-A.
K-A-R-A.
How old?
4, April now. She's about 4.
Okay.
She's still like a little baby though.
What I need you to do, Stefan, is to just sign and print and I'll give you a copy of it. Just to say that you're signing her over to the RSPCA, all right?
Yeah, okay, no problem. Thank you, Anthony. You thanks for your time and thanks for your patience with me.
It's all right, mate. That's fine.
With Cara signed over, she'll soon be given a fresh start.
I'll go and get a lead from my van.
But unless someone steps in, the same might not be true for Stefan.
He wants some help. Sometimes I can bridge the gap and make sure that he gets some help, some of the services that are available to him. Are you in contact with anyone now?
Social services need to see me, really.
All right, mate. Well, I'll make some phone calls at least and see if I can...
I want to get clean anyway.
Get you some help.
It's killing me. Cool.
All right, mate. You need some help then?
I
don't
do
you?
need help, yeah.
The time's come for Stefan to say goodbye to Cara.
What's this? Come here, girl. Come here, sausage. Come here, girl. Come on. Come on, Cara.
Here we go. Just wait. Just wait.
In you go, sausage. In you go with it. She goes.
This is good.
Oh.
Well done.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's say to the hello, girl. Say to the love you, Cara. Love you, girl.
All right, mate.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right.
Thanks for
Do you want to make yourself a cup of tea?
Yeah, I will.
I'll ring you later on. All right.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right,
Thanks
mate.
for your time, mate.
All right.
You take care.
All right, mate. Take it easy.
Cheers, Anthony.
It's all right, mate. All right. You've done the right thing. Take care, mate. What with this one? Oh, there we go. Is that nice? Look at these ones. She seems quite relaxed, yeah, bless her. She's definitely got a chance. She's, you know, get a happy ending, and that's what I do. That's what I do the job for. That's all I want for her and for Stefan as well. All right, darling.
Earlier we met terribly skinny Jess, who was rescued by Inspector Anthony Pulfer.
It's not right. That's not how a dog should look.
Her blood tests revealed there were no underlying health problems, and Jess was simply suffering from a lack of food. Jess has been at South Godstone Animal Centre in Surrey for 3 weeks,
Hello, Jess.
where animal care assistant Laura Maddox is making sure she's fed little and often.
Jess really pulled on everyone's heartstrings when she first came in. She was very affectionate, very friendly. Sweetie. She has actually put on 4.5 kilos, which is amazing. And she's just continuing to make improvements in her weight and generally in her behaviour. Ready for your training?
The staff at the centre do everything they can to ensure the animals in their care get rehomed. And to increase Jess's chances of finding her forever home, Lauren has been teaching Jess basic training.
She's got focus on me, so she's looking at me, which is really, really good. It's what I'm after. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Liking that, aren't you? That's fun. Come, Jess.
When Jess is rehomed, she'll need to be able to return to her owners on command, and being outside, surrounded by new sounds and smells, can make this more difficult.
Jess, come! Jess, come! Come!
But luckily, she's a quick learner.
Good girl. So, Jess. She's enthusiastic about coming back. Jess! Obviously, we don't want her jumping, so I'm just waiting that one out. Ready? Find it. Jess! Jess, come on in. Oh, did you lose me? Yes, good girl. Jess, come. Good, so that time was a lot better.
And for her finale, a twirl, and a bow. Bravo, Jess.
She's really shown focus and eagerness to learn, which will set her up for the future, which is all very positive. Got great expectations for her.
We'll be back with Jess later. Animal centres often have to deal with underweight dogs like Jess. Today I'm meeting Raven and vet Michael Lazarus to find out just how important diet is to a dog's health. Now, tell me a bit about Raven here. He's a bit skinny.
He was actually abandoned, so he arrived here as a very skinny dog. We just started to feed him up, get him back to a normal weight. He's not quite there yet, but we're definitely heading in the right direction.
So how do you go about feeding him up? Because you can't just give him a ton of food straight away.
When dogs have been starving for quite some time, it basically means that they've used up all the excess fat around their body. They're having to use energy from protein, from the muscles, from the deeper important fats around the heart and the liver. Right. But then if you suddenly go back to how a dog normally uses energy, just giving it loads of food, the body's still in this survival mode, so it doesn't know how to handle all this energy correctly. You actually can go into organ failure. So what you have to do is slowly reintroduce food into the diet.
Now, the next problem you get, once you've got your dog up to normal weight, is going past into overweight. How do you avoid that?
On the packaging, it's very clear. Look on the chart and it tells you how much you should be feeding for that day. If you're adding treats, you need to then reduce the amount of food from that guideline that you're using, because then you're just giving excess food.
And some of the same health problems that humans have can arise, can they not? So that dogs can get diabetes?
Diabetes, arthritis, heart disease.
And what's the best way to weigh your dog? Pick it up and stand on the scales?
Weight isn't actually that reliable because even within a certain breed, you can get a huge variation in how big a dog is. If you can clearly see all the individual ribs, your dog might be a bit too skinny. If you can't see or feel any of the ribs, your dog's a bit overweight. You look at the spine here, look at the pelvis. If you've got all these bones jutting out, you're on the skinny end. But if you can't see anything, and for example, if there's no waist to your dog, then you're on the higher end of the scale.
You've got a fat dog.
Exactly, yeah.
Good thing about Raven is, because he's got such a lovely beard, we always know what he's been eating, don't we?
Exactly. Find bits of cheese hanging in there as well, I think. Is that your favourite food?
Lovely bit of cheddar. In East London, Inspector Claire Dew has just received a concerning call-out.
A member of public seen a dog jump or fall from a window and then try and get back into the window from the roof of the porch or something similar. All very confused information at the moment, as these things usually are when there'll be some slight hysteria from the member of public.
It's a confusing call, but one that Claire needs to get to the bottom of fast.
Cats are designed to land as safely as they can when they come out of anything from height. Dogs, not a clue. I don't know very much, except obviously we've got a dog. It's traumatised either physically or mentally or both, and I need to get there as quickly as possible.
And things don't get a whole lot clearer when Claire arrives.
Oh, there it is. There it is. How can it come out of the window?
There is an open window.
Hey, bud. Hello.
And a dog. But there is a fence between them. Could this Houdini hound have escaped through the window and across the roof?
It's a very strange scenario.
If this is the dog that's fallen, then it could have injuries that need urgent attention. With no witnesses on site, it's up to Claire to find out.
Hello. Do you know the dog that's in this porch here? Does it belong next door? Careful. Is it yours? It fell out of the window. Somebody telephoned us because it came out of the window. So that's what's the dog doing coming out the window? Okay. Telephone somebody so that I can speak to them to tell you what's going on. Thank you. The dog's come from next door. This gentleman, I think, owns it. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a language problem. I'm concerned that he doesn't realise the dog came out of the window. What did you do come out the window, Bud? What did you do come out the window? Silly boy.
Not silly, I'm very agile.
Thank you. Hello, sir. Right, the gentleman I'm with at the moment has a dog, yes? Right, OK, and I need you to explain to the gentleman two things. He must go inside and shut the window before he takes the dog in, and then he must take the dog to the veterinary surgery to make sure that it's not injured. Thank you.
Now we are getting somewhere.
He's going to go in and shut the window. Nice dog. Hey, excellent. Window shut. Hello. Yes, the window's shut, thank you. And he understands he needs to take the dog to the animal doctor, yes? Thank you. What's the dog's name? Tony. Oh, OK, good name. Right, this is my telephone number. OK, so when you've been and Tony is OK, then you telephone me. All right, are you OK? All right, good. OK, thank you. He's a good boy. That's better. Good boy. It's a long way to come out of a window. It's a big dog. Even if it's only broken a toenail, it could be sore. So I'd rather it got checked out. It will also Remind him if he has to pay to go to the vet every time his dog comes out the window, he might shut the window more often.
Later in the day, Claire gets a call from Putney Animal Hospital to say that Tony has been given a clean bill of health. A thankfully happier ending and a reminder to keep your pets safe from potential danger.
Jess, come!
Coming up, we find out if Jess can find a forever home she really deserves.
Got great expectations for her.
Kieran, they can't stay here if this stays like this. Do you understand that, Dolly? That's really important.
And can Kieran clean up his act and keep his dogs?
Hello, darling. Hello, hello.
Earlier, Hershey met Rocky, Roxy and their owner, Kieran. Although the two staffies were in good condition, their living environment posed a hazard to their safety.
Careful with that, Dolly, because that's hot, isn't it? Yeah.
So a concerned Hershey was forced to give Kieran an ultimatum.
If the property stays like this, the dogs won't be able to stay.
A week later, Hershey is back to see if Kieran has cleaned up his act.
He's basically saying to me that my attendance was the kick up the butt that he really needed, and they were his words, and that he started really clearing it up, and he's got lots of black bags full of rubbish now, and, you know, I'm really optimistic that things may well have improved, and I want to obviously see that happen.
Well, the outside looks clean. Hershey has been in touch with the local authorities to see what they can do to help Kieran.
Hi, Kieran. Hi, darling, you all right?
And today she's joined by housing officer Rory and cleaning contractor Malcolm. When Hershey came last week, the flat was full of hazards and needed a lot of work to make it safe for the two dogs to live in. But now...
Come on, dogs. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come in, come in, come in.
this is more like it. Kieran has made a huge effort to tidy up.
When I came out on last Wednesday, you couldn't see the floor. That's how bad it was, the amount of rubbish there was in here. I'm really pleased, you know, I'm super impressed.
Kieran's removed all hazards and rubbish himself and even treated the dogs to fancy new bowls.
Did you have these before? They new?
No, I've spent a hell of a lot.
That's great. You know, honestly, I'm super pleased.
That kick up the ball, get it done.
That's the word you said to me, kick up the bum. And I'm, you know, I'm so glad.
Just anything I would do to keep my dog.
Now Kieran has done his bit, cleaning contractor Malcolm can organise the next step, a deep clean.
We've done phase one, you've taken all the rubbish out, and then the next phase will be obviously any repair work that needs to be done is done. And when we're at that point, I can sleep easy, yeah? But, you know, this is definitely going the right direction.
Malcolm has good news.
You don't want to get it all squeezed into a day, so it's easy for the dogs, financially viable.
Put an inspector's discount on it or something. Whatever that is, an inspector's discount. I'm trying for you, Kieran, all right?
Kieran will have to pay for the deep clean himself, but Hershey's really doing everything she can to help him. And it seems she's also been a bit of an inspiration.
So, and I'm hoping sort of in the future, perhaps I could work with the RSPCA and people in my situation, perhaps coming from someone like you,
okay,
it might help them understand someone from me who's been there. So I'm willing to volunteer my time to the
bless
RSPCA.
you.
Yeah.
So if you can get on your feet and get everything sorted, there's no reason why you couldn't help with walking the dogs and doing something. Do it for you and for the dogs, yeah? If you're happy, they're happy, yeah?
Brilliant.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Kieran, pleasure to see you again, my darling, all right? Look after yourself.
Kieran's pleased to be getting his house in order and, more importantly, to be keeping his beloved pets.
Rocky, everyone thinks he's innocent. Roxy, she's more the attention seeker, that they love each other. Yeah, they mean a hell of a lot to me.
Hershey's job isn't done, though, as she'll be dropping by every few months to keep Kieran on track.
There is still a long way to go. It isn't an overnight solve. He's such a lovely lad, Kieran, you know, he really is. I think genuinely he wants to do right, so I'm chuffed. You know, happy, 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 Inspector.
you go, sausage. In you go.
Is it good?
Earlier, we met German Shepherd Cara, whose owner Stefan was struggling with drug addiction. Inspector Anthony Joins helped Stefan to access rehabilitation services.
Good girl, go on. She's a relatively young dog still. I think she's doing quite well. Good girl. You know, we got a couple of tennis balls out, and she seems quite happy. She's going to do just fine, aren't you, girl? Hey. She's in a centre now where the staff will spend loads of time on her. Hopefully the future's really bright, which is just fantastic news, isn't it?
And the great news is, after only 2 weeks in kennels, Cara's already won a new owner's heart and will soon be going to her forever family. Earlier, we met horribly skinny Jess, who was rescued by Inspector Anthony Pulfer.
That's not how a dog should look.
She was only 19 kilos, a far cry from what a dog her size should weigh.
Condition's terrible. She's just so painfully thin.
Blood tests showed that there were no underlying health problems contributing to her skeletal frame.
Her waist is so tiny, I can get my hands around it.
OK.
Jess's owner pleaded guilty to causing unnecessary suffering. She was banned from owning animals for 5 years and fined over £700. 9 months on, and Jess has gained an incredible 11 kilos. She is now looking much happier and healthier. You'll be glad to know this lovely lady has also found her forever home.
Jess is part of the family. Bless you.
Despite the hay fever, for Richard Wheeler and his 4 children, it was love at first sight.
Well, the first time that I saw Jess, I knew it was meant to be. I just knew that she was going to be part of our family and fit in really well. And she has, so.
Luckily, Jess is pretty fond of them too.
Very affectionate, full of love, and loves being loved. You give her affection, she'll follow you around, no matter where you go. She's the only dog that I've known ever that'll come up to you and give you a full frontal kiss. I'm not talking about a gentle peck, I'm talking about whacks you in the face with the nose, wash on the lips, and it just puts a smile on your face. OK, morning.
That's very sweet, but that is not how I like to wake up. Jess has a special connection with one of Richard's daughters, called Jess.
I do like her having the same name. She's like my little twin, but in dog form.
Jess, no, the other one, has been with the Wheelers for almost 6 months now and has really come into her own.
This is a lot of attention, isn't it, eh? A lot of attention. That's one thing she loves. You good girl. Jess's personality, full of beans. Absolute full of beans. Doesn't seem to be a dull moment. She is the queen of the castle. Absolute queen of the castle.
This pampered princess's happily ever after was written in the stars.
I think it was destiny. I do believe it was meant to be for us to find Jess and for Jess to find us. She's just a wonderful dog that, for me, I was so glad to be a part of. Yeah, hey? Gorgeous girl.